Good afternoon. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, and I'm bringing you an article from Raw Story by Alexander Willis. It's entitled Economist Flags Hard Proof of Imminent Economic Collapse, One Exacerbated by Trump. Exacerbated means made worse. So one made worse by Trump. I know you know what it means, but I'm emphasizing it. Here we go.
Economist flags hard proof of imminent economic collapse, one exacerbated by Trump. Chris Blattman, a renowned economist and political scientist, issued a dire warning Sunday over what he called hard proof of an impending economic disaster, the causes of which have only been exacerbated by the Trump administration. The hard proof Blattman was referencing was the AI layoff trap, a study published earlier this year that warns with utmost certainty of an automation arms race in which businesses, seeking to save labor costs, replace human workers with artificial intelligence, AI, tools in a competitive fashion, and to such a degree as to erode the very consumer demand firms depend on. Written by Brett Hemingway Falk of the University of Pennsylvania and Jerry Tsoukalas of Boston University, the study presents a detailed model of how businesses would have every incentive to replace human workers with AI as the technology improves, despite the result being a catastrophic reduction in consumer demand. Like most economic models, not a useful simplification or thought experiment, but hard proof of the future, Blattman warned Sunday in a social media post on X. The trap, as the study refers to the automation arms race dynamic, has no market force that can break it, the study found, with the only solution, Falk and Tsoukalas conclude, being regulatory intervention. However, the Trump administration has moved in the opposite direction, and instead has sought to deregulate the AI industry, and has gone as far as to block states from creating their own laws to regulate the technology. In a competitive task-based model, demand externalities trap rational firms in an automation arms race, displacing workers well beyond what is collectively optimal, the study reads. The resulting loss harms both workers and firm owners. More competition and better AI amplify the excess. Wage adjustments and free entry cannot eliminate it. Neither can capital income taxes, worker equity participation, universal basic income, upskilling, or cohesion bargaining. Only a Pigouvian automation tax can.
In those last two terms, if you look up Pigouvian tax in Wikipedia, it'll also talk about cohesion taxes. And when you have a trend that's going to create harm externally, okay, so the companies that are substituting workers with AI are the internal entities that are causing harm because they're taking income away from the people they're putting out of work, which is going to cause not just harm to individuals, but it's going to cause an economic downturn. And so there has to be some way to bring the system back into a synchronous mode. The economy has to be synchronized somehow. Well, they're talking about two possible ways it can be done. Cohesion bargaining or Pigouvian automation tax. In this case, the tax is on the AI automation, the companies that do it, and that tax will be given to the people, other smaller businesses, to bring the economy back into up to a point where it is functioning properly again. And so an example of a Pigouvian tax that you can probably understand pretty easily is if you own an electric vehicle, you're not paying road taxes to your state that they use to fix the road, because the gasoline taxes at the pump that your state collects is used to for upkeep on the highways and roads in your state. So if you have an electric vehicle, the only way that electric vehicle using those roads can be made to pay its share of it is through Pigovian, it's hard to pronounce, a Pigovian tax on electric vehicles, which is collected at the time that you license the vehicle every year. And I live in the state of Michigan. I have an electric vehicle, and I'm here to tell you that the Pigovian tax on my electric vehicle is $600 a year. I normally was paying $200 on it until they put the Pigovian tax on. So now it's $600 a year. All right. So they didn't even give us a chance to do the coalition bargaining, which is where the people with electric vehicles get together and they bargain with the state to come to some fair equity to pay the road taxes. So that's what it's all about. And AI is going to be used improperly. If it's used properly, it would not cause this crash. But it's going to be used improperly, and there's going to be a crash. And I'm pro AI, but I'm not pro the way it's being used by companies that are implementing it right now. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, saying, fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck all you companies that are trying to replace people with AI. And to everyone else, Pox and Morjack, keep on trucking.